Welcome back. At 4 p.m. today, U.S. District Judge Marcia Peckman was expected to issue her decision about whether the Sonics would have to stay in Seattle for 2 more years. At 4, she released this statement, quote, "The parties have settled the case. Details of the settlement will be released by the parties." Then exactly 1 hour later, the news was made public.
The NBA will be in Oklahoma City next season, playing their games. The transition and the move of this operation and this team begins tomorrow morning from Seattle to Oklahoma City. And it begins with the most important piece of our organization. It begins with our players.
In fact, the core of the Thunder team that will take on the Miami Heat were once members of Seattle's professional basketball franchise. And 4 years after the franchise moved, basketball fans in Seattle are forced to watch what
could have been during the NBA Finals.
See, I knew you like that intro, bro. I know you like that intro, bro. Like, you can't even lie to me, bro. That shit was clean as hell. That shit was dope as fuck. Like, don't even cap about that shit, bro. Like, honestly. We're bringing basketball back to Seattle, boys. What's good, YouTube? Back with another video. I'm gonna be starting a new series where I'm gonna be using Seattle to try to get them a championship. But obviously, it's gonna be a little bit too easy for me because I'm just a Myleague god, if you ask me. Like, I can't be stopped. Obviously, I'm gonna have to add rules to the franchise. So let me list them out real quick. I can't trade in the first year. I can't make unrealistic trades. Like, I know I could easily get players like Hassan Whiteside, but that's just unrealistic and incredibly too easy. So like, what's the point in doing that? It's just gonna ruin the franchise, if you ask me. So I'm just gonna try to keep the unrealistic trades to a minimum if I do them at all. So yeah, and the team I'm starting off with is terrible too. So if I can actually get him in the trade finder, then like, what the hell's going on? Unless I add like 40 picks into it, and if I have to do that, then like, I'm not gonna do it. You feel me? I'm gonna try to keep the trades to a minimum to like try to keep the same core people on my team so that I can win a championship with that core, and it's gonna be a lot more satisfying if I actually do it. So yeah, if you play Myleague, you know that your players don't progress at all if they have low potential. Like, there's no dynamic potential like there is in FIFA. Like, you can't really change it. Potential does not upgrade at all unless you go to training camp, which is only +3, and I can only do it for like 2 players at a time. So it's not gonna be good enough, bro. I'm gonna have to add my own progression system. Here's like a rough copy of what I'm thinking I'm gonna be doing. It's not really like stamped like that, but yeah, this is what I'm gonna be doing for now. Just so I don't get a system that's OP and like all my players are demigods and all that, I'm gonna add caps to all the attributes. So the cap to every attribute is 85. I can't upgrade someone that's an 83 overall or higher. They have to be younger than 26, and physical attributes cost double the points, and that includes like speed, dribble, and lateral quickness and all that. Okay, so getting to the team in the first year, not that really matters since I'm gonna be starting the series at season 2. Bro, for real, if I start at season 1, bro, it's just gonna be so depressing, bro. I'm not gonna win any games. The team that I'm about to show you is just terrible. There's no way that we can contend for anything. We're not getting any A spot. Like, even if we do, we're not gonna be any first seed team. So there's really no point in me playing this first season. I'm just let them progress for a little bit and then start off at season 2, get my draft picks and all that. And if you're asking why I'm not showing the setup and like the draft and all that, it's because who really cares, you know? I lost the footage. But getting to the squad in the first year, you have our best player overall wise, which is Saban Lee, but you could probably wonder if he's only a pro guard just because of his size, because he is 6'2". He's a good slasher and an average shooter, but his defense and playmaking is mediocre at best, and his physical stats aren't really that good either. Trevor Ariza was really only brought here just so he can mentor all the young players and all that. I'm really not going to be using him that much, especially in the second year. He's old and he's probably going to regress the next season, so he's probably going to get dropped. Perry can actually be a solid power forward if his technicalities are upgraded. His rebounding is okay, and he actually has some of the same physical stats as Lee, so that's tough, bro. Maze is a straight sniper with a really good midi and a good 3-point shot, but is mediocre at just about everything else. Elijah Hughes is a pure scorer, but he has average scoring, and he's a bad defender, and he can't drive into the basket that well. He's a bad playmaker, but he's probably not gonna be asked to be playmaking. Pretty sure his only role in the squad is just to score, and he does actually have potential as a scorer, so take that as you will. Tyler Bay has really good physical stats and has an okay offensive skill set while having good perimeter defense, but is a god-awful rebounder. He's more of a small forward than a power forward, if you ask me. Taco Fall is legit just self-explanatory at this point. I wouldn't be able to justify myself if I didn't pick him up. He's 7'5" and a GOAT. That's all I really have to say for him. Lamar Stevens is just about on the same boat as Tyler Bay, as he's mostly just athletic, but is a raw prospect. He has a good close shot and dunk, but is a terrible defender and rebounder. Paul Reed is pretty much Dookie, not gonna lie, bro. He has decent rebounding, but he's just trash at everything else. He has 57 strength too. Like, what big man has 57 strength? Granted, he is 220 pounds, but he's not even athletic like that, so he's just not good, being completely honest with you. Najee Marshall is just a bad player. There's nothing that really stands out about him. He's listed as a slasher with 70 layup and a 65 drive and dunk. That's just say enough for itself, to be honest. Makoka is an inside-out scorer with average scoring but good physical stats. He's a mediocre defender just like every other freaking person in his team, bro. Johnson Porter is more of an offensive-oriented player that's mediocre at everything else. But he is at least a decent defensive rebounder. That's all I can say for him. Miles Powell's attributes actually don't do him justice at all. He's an okay scorer with pretty good playmaking and physical attributes, but is a putrid defender. But his scoring in game is a lot better than his attributes say. And lastly on the roster you have Kareem Main with insane physical attributes and a good drive and dunk on him, but is a crappy shooter and a bad defender. If his skill set is improved drastically, he could be a potential baby Westbrook, not gonna lie. And that's just about it for the squad. Alright, before I get to the 2 games I played in season 1, I gotta say a few disclaimers real quick. For one, I am playing with real player percentage because I don't want my release timing to affect whether he makes it or not. And I do off-ball a lot because I do want them to have their own personalities on defense, which doesn't really help me at all because my team is just filled with trash defenders. So in fact, it's gonna do me harm more than good. And that's just about it. I'm showing these games just because I want to give you an idea as to how the series is gonna work. Now that's just about it. Catch you on the flip side, man. Peace out. Here we are as the Sonics play the first game of their franchise history, or more like the 1000th game. Nonetheless, for their first game, Seattle faces off against the San Antonio Spurs. Just a quick disclaimer before I start the game and the commentary and all that. I do actually play this game on broadcast to try to make it more realistic, but as you're about to see, I'm really not that good with this camera angle because it just feels weird. So this is the only game I played in this camera angle, so yeah, that's it. And here we are to tip off the new season. DeJounte Murray takes the ball 2 minutes into the first quarter and swings it to Keldon Johnson for a wide open wing mid-range jump shot, and he sinks it in his face. Murray drives the ball and gets it stripped by Najee Marshall. Najee swings it to Saban with a half shot and gets a crazy contested layup to go down as the score is 3-8 at the moment. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Johnson passes it to DeJounte Murray. He takes him in and finds Reggie Perry sagging off of his man to get an extremely easy corner 3 to go down as the Sonics offense and defense seems to be stuttering at the moment. You see the offense starting to stutter a little bit. Taco screens no one. He rolls in, pump fakes, and gets stuffed by Jakob Poeltl at the rim for some reason. Even though he's 7'5" and shouldn't be getting stuffed at all, but hey, that's 2K for you. Perry gets the ball in the wing, drives it in, and gets completely stuffed by DeRozan. Perry gets it again, loses the ball, gets it to Mays, he shoots it, brick. Taco gets a rebound, get that shit out of here. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on, it should not be that difficult to get a bucket. Like, honestly, bro. Perry in the low post trying to get DeRozan to bottom pump fake, he doesn't bite, and he gets stuffed in the rim by his shooting guard. I don't know if it's just lack of chemistry or what, but like, this team is not looking great right now. Ariza gets the ball on the low post with just him and the defender on the island. Ariza does a few moves, shimmies, then hits the layup on his head top. The deficit starts to get cut as Hughes closes out a little bit too late, but Vassell still misses the shot. Stevens gets the rebound as he passes it to Miles, who beams it down the court to Hughes, who just got the defensive stop, and Hughes gets the layup to go down. Moving on to the second quarter, Marshall gets a pick and roll opportunity with just Lonnie to beat. Lonnie turns his back, and for some odd reason, he chooses to go to Lonnie's right side, and he doesn't get the contested layup to go down. I just don't know why Najee decided to attack that side when he had the other side wide open, but neither here nor there. But either way, Lonnie comes down the court. Lonnie gets a pick from Rudy Homo as he tries to split the defense. He goes up over Marshall and gets the layup to go down. Keldon gets the ball and runs down the wing. He cuts down and gets absolutely sandwiched by Lee and Reed and gets the N1 call to go. And Saban Lee on the other hand continues to struggle to get going as he falls 2 for 9 with that attempted layup, while on the other hand you have freaking DeMar DeRozan hitting floaters over 3 people like a child's play. But the start of the third quarter has come and DeRozan starts it off by hitting his jumper right over Skylar Mays like it's nobody's business. But Perry answers right back with a ferocious slam of his own as he babies Keldon Johnson on the low post. Skylar passes it to Marshall, who tries to pass it to Saban but gets picked off by DeJounte Murray, and he goes on a break but then takes his time for some reason to absolutely over the defender. He attacks Saban and goes for a contested leaner and gets it to go, making him look silly out there. Saban goes to the other end and tries to get it going but gets absolutely denied. At this point, Seattle's just completely giving up. As Johnson gets a wide open mid-range jumper, that's just about does it for this game. There's no way that they're coming back after this massacre. The score ends up being 72-117 in an away defeat for the Sonics. The highest score for Seattle was Taco Fall with 11 points, and the supposed best player ends up scoring 6 points in 25 minutes while having a whopping 70% field goal percentage. Safe to say that was not a great start for him. On to the next game where they face their expansion brothers, the Pittsburgh Forest. After that away thrashing, I'm sure they want to bounce back, as they already got about 20 points going to the second quarter, and Garrison hits an uncontested corner 3, so already not a great start for these guys. And now down by nearly 30 points, Skylar gets it to Perry and gets the N1 call to go. He ends up taking the free throw. Now Skylar has the ball again where they run a double off-ball screen for Perry as he gets the ball, drives it inside, misses the look, but gets the ball back again and gets the easy putback lay-in to go. Skylar has the ball again and gets stripped by Campazzo, but then it's recovered by Miles Powell, who gets it to Mays in the half court. They run the same play again for Perry, and now Perry has a wide open lane to run into, and Perry drives the lane to get the two-handed dunk to go down. Rudy Gay chucks up a contested turnaround from the post and misses the shot. Mays grabs the board and swings it to Marshall. Marshall swings it to Hughes, who now only has one defender to beat, who charges the basket and gets the circus lane to go down. down. With 5.7 seconds left in the half, Seattle tries to get the ball all the way to full court, but they're unsuccessful in their efforts, and it's picked up by Toscano. He runs it up the court as Mokoka tries to block the half-court shot for some reason, and ends up fouling him, and Toscano actually hit the half-court shot while being fouled too. That is crazy. That is probably the best shot he's ever gonna make in his career, and probably the highlight of the year. And 2K, what the hell, bro? Why is that even happening, bro? Like, come on, bro. Alright, anyway, Eton Moore drives it down the lane, and the help defender commits a little bit too much and leaves Rudy Gay wide open in the corner like a prostitute for the three-pointer. Rudy Gay gets the ball again and attacks Perry and goes right at the tackle fall and gets the ridiculously tough layups to fall against the 7'5" center. A timeout gets called as the Sonics are down by nearly 30 points. It's something or someone needs to spark quickly if they want to have any chance of coming back in this game in the second half. And it finally does happen as the team starts to pick up a little bit more pace and they kick off their offense, and Saban gets the contested layups to go down.
You can see that there's some life in the offense now.
And you have to think that maybe they thought it was a little bit embarrassing to be down nearly 30 points to a team that's pretty much even on paper.
Taco Fall just absolutely babying this defender, bro. Like, look how much bigger he is than this guy in the low post, bro. This is not fair at all.
Lee gets a pick from Taco, who really doesn't end up screening anybody, but Taco rolls into the open space and gets the easy slam to go through. Seattle have another break, and Mokoka gets the ball to Hughes, who gets to a reason for the easy fast break layup. McLaughlin just waiting for something, I don't know, but he feeds the ball to Metu in the post and goes for a really contested layup for some reason and doesn't get it to go down. The deficit is now cut to 22. Saban gets the ball from Hughes, who runs on the break. He swings it to Marshall, who gets it to the point guard Lee. Lee with the beautiful behind the back to create separation and gets the ridiculous layup to go down as he cuts the lead down to 20, with Saban having 13 points at this time. Metu feeds it to McLaughlin as he sets an extremely illegal screen to foul him out of this game. Metu has 7 points on the night.
Until the fourth quarter, the Sonics down by 20. Saban drives into the paint and gets it to Perry, who tries to go to the low post but sees he has no opening, so he passes it back to Paul Reed, who hands it off to Saban. Saban drives into the paint and gets a ferocious dunk right over two players' heads. That was nasty, bro.
Right on the next play, Mays gets the steal on the other end and tries to run the break with literally 3 defenders right by him, but he passes to Saban, who runs straight to the paint and gets another slam back to back. He's on a mission right now. Right back on the very next play, Saban gets a contest a little bit late, but the shot's still off. Perry gets the board, passes it to Mace, who immediately passes it to the hot hand Lee. Lee does a beautiful move to put McLaughlin on the back foot.
Lee drives it into the paint with McLaughlin on his back. Lee gets fouled by McLaughlin and he gets the layup to go through. Lee ends up sinking the free throw. Lee's just unstoppable at this point.
Lee has the ball again and tries to get past the defender, but snatches back. Makes a questionable pass to Taco Fall, who has Rudy Gay on him in the low post. Taco goes to work in the post, pump fakes, and gets the closed shot to go down as he cuts the lead to only 10 with the bucket. Campazzo gets the ball on the top of the key. Mays gets destroyed by that screen in the paint and leaves the wing wide open, and Eton Moore gets the uncontested three-pointers to go down.
Toscano has the ball right now, guarded by Marshall. Toscano swings it to the wing. Eton Moore has a wide open shot. He bricks it. Perry gets the board. To Mays, to Marshall, to Taco, back to Marshall. Marshall has a wide open lane. He gets the dunk to go down.
Lee passes to Perry, who passes it back to the wing again, and Lee abuses his matchup and goes right through the defender to get the easy layup to go. Perry tries to back down Eton Moore, a freaking guard, but is unsuccessful. Like, come on, man, you're freaking power forward. Like, that should be an easy look. But Eton Moore goes coast to coast and gets a very long mid-range jumper to go. Matthews gets it to Eton Moore in the corner with takeover. Ariza gets over there in the last second and he breaks the shot. Lee gets it to Ariza, who finds Mace butt-ass wide open naked in the corner like a prostitute, and Mace takes a shot to reduce the lead to 9 points. Lee has the ball at the top of the key as a floppy is being run for Hughes. Hughes gets the ball in the wing and drives it in and sees Perry butt naked open. The defender tries to get a contest last second. Oh my goodness! Put him on a poster. Perry sinks the free throw too. Scully gets the ball to the corner. Hughes, tightly guarded. He drives it in and snatches back. Ugh, that was nasty. He makes the shot after that beautiful move. Campazzo gets the ball to Eton Moore as someone just completely messes up their matchup and left them wide open for a three-pointer. That's a big note on the clutch. Sonics call timeout, and Rudy Gay is a player of the game. He's been absolutely taking over this game, from getting assists to points to rebounds to playing defense. It seems like he's everywhere in this court, and he rolled this team to this point. Just an absolute show from Rudy Gay. Like, there was no stopping him tonight. Lee has the ball in the wing as Hughes is running to a wide open corner as he gets a wide open three and sinks it to straight the lead to 3 points, all the way from 30 to 3. Matthews in the wing again. Mays messes up his matchup and gives Eton Moore a wide open 3 at the top of the key. Only 102 left in this game. Mays gets it wide open. It's just a fadeaway midi and misses, but Elijah gets the board and puts it back up to reduce the lead to 5. Elijah has 17 on the night. 50 seconds left and Gay drives it in and gets rejected by Taco Fall. He gets it to Mays and absolutely drags down the court to try to get an easy bucket, but he gets stripped. Lee tries to recover the ball, but it's unsuccessful, and that just about does it for this contest. It was a nice effort trying to come back from nearly 30 points and mount this comeback, but it wasn't enough due to the absolute selling of Skylar Mays down in the clutch, and Eton Moore decided to become Klay Thompson at the last stretch of the game. The final score is 130 to 136. No defense was being played at all, which allowed two of the worst offenses to look like the Cavs and Warriors in 2016. Rudy Gay with 29 points and 8 boards, shooting 10 for
for 21 from the field and hit 7 out of 8 of his free throws. And he told him we're going 4 for 8 from 3 and scoring 23 points in this game. While on the other hand, Lee exploded in this game and shows why he's the best player in this young group of players, scoring 30 points on 11 for 18 shooting while racking up 6 assists and going 8 for 11 from the charity stripe. Well, that just about does it for this broadcast. We'll see you guys in the next season, hopefully. And that just about does it for me. I'll see you guys later, man. Peace out. And just like that, the season's done. We had a whopping record of 18 and 64. Giannis the GOAT goes for MVP. LaMelo Ball goes for ROTY. Derrick Rose gets 6th man of the year. Defensive player of the year goes to the GOATs again for the 2nd year in a row. And Christian Wood gets most improved player of the year. The Los Angeles Clippers for some reason end up winning the championship this year. And as for the draft lottery, we were projected to go 3rd, but the results show that we do in fact get the 2nd overall pick. The Force, who were projected to get the 1st overall pick, end up falling all the way to 5, and the Thunder get the 1st pick in the 2021 NBA draft. These are the statistics for the Seattle Supersonics, as Lee was actually the leading scorer for this team, while Mays and Maine fall behind. Pittsburgh ends up getting the 2nd worst record in NBA history, followed by the Bobcats. So it's safe to say that we won the expensive draft this year. These are the Force's leading scorers, with Metu on top, followed by Bertans and Capazzo, with Bertans having 12.8 points per game and Capazzo having 10.7 points per game. The Sonics end up firing Miller Mack and bringing Stephen Silas, the Rockets' former head coach, to fill up that spot. In fact, we fired just about all of our staff and brought in new and better people. And just like that, it's draft time. Since the Sonics knew who was going first, they had their eyes on either Jalen Green or Evan Mobley, since the 2-guard and center positions were both positions that needed to be filled. But then all of a sudden, the Thunder choose a shocking pick and pick Jalen Green at the number 1 spot. So that left Cade Cunningham on the board. So you know what that means. I mean, it was still a difficult choice between Cade and Evan, because Cade is still a really good and solid point guard, even though we did have Stephen Lee at that position and we were playing for the future for him. But if I pass up on him, I would actually be stupid. So we went ahead and picked up Cade Cunningham at the 2nd overall pick. And for the 2nd round pick, we ended up picking Alan Flanagan, a 6'6" skilled left-handed scorer from Auburn. That's just about it for the draft. So for free agency, since I'm only allowing myself to sign 3 new players and they could only be 1 overall higher than my team's current highest overall, which is 76 right now, I went ahead and signed Mac Burton to a 2-year, $11.7 million contract. I mostly signed him because I know he has a lot of potential. So yeah, that's basically the only reason why he's there. Evan Rapp gets the 2nd spot on my team with a 2-year, $14 million deal. I did this because I know we're kind of weak when it comes to our bigs. And for the final spot on this team, I signed Nazir Little to a straight bag. A 3-year, $32 million deal for Nazir to become our starter and small forward. He's probably mostly going to be used as a spot-up shooter, as he has pretty good shooting, but it's pretty slow in that position, so he could be a project player. We don't know yet. And that's just about does it for free agency. Now let's move on to progression. Hughes absolutely jumped up the most, going up 6 overalls. Lee went up from a 75 to a 76. Nazir went up 2. Mays went up 3. Perry goes up to a 74. Bay goes up to a 74 as well. This team is looking up for real, bro. This team is looking pretty decent going into year 2. For training camp, I just sent Elijah Hughes and Stephen Lee to potential camp to make sure that the ceilings get higher, because those are the 2 players I want to be using the most. And Cade, but Cade's potential is already high. I don't need to waste it on him. And we do actually end up releasing Kareem Maine and Paul Reed to reach the allowed player limit for each team. And that's just about does it for the offseason. Hey yo, you made it to the end of the video. Hey yo, you see that? You see that, like that red button right there? Like it's kind of like a rectangle. It's just like subscribe. Yeah, you should hit that shit. Like honestly, like, I don't know. I think it'd be pretty cool if you did that. Oh yeah, you see that thumbs up right there too? Like yeah, you should probably click that too. I don't know. I just think it'd be cool or something. Like honestly, that's just about it for me, bro. See you guys later, man. Peace out.